And good morning. Welcome to our Glock 17 versus Ruger Mk3 video. Just because we're going to be shooting both these guns at 25 yards to that target. That's a standard NRA B16 target. So the black area is about 5.25, 5.5 inches in diameter. And we're going to be shooting from a bench and supported in order to compensate for the biggest variable in the equation, which is me. I'm only an average shooter, and I thought to get a fair comparison, we'll use the Caldwell support from the bench. I'm really interested to see what happens here. Who's going to shoot a better group? I think the Ruger has a clear advantage, but at the end I'll tell you why I'm even doing this. So let's get started. All right, we're about to start. We're going to start with the Ruger Mk3 first of all. So I'll go over this gun in detail with you after we finish shooting. It's not quite stock. It's been modified pretty well. But let's see what we can do at 25 yards from the support. Okay, 10 shots. Let's go see how we did. Okay, let's see. Hey, not a bad grouping. I had one hiccup there. I'm sure that's all me. If you can see, the rest of them are all, right there by the 10 ring. So if I can do this with one hand, I've got a tape measure. Let's take a look here. That looks like about 2 inches. Yeah, about a 2-inch spread. Now if I hadn't screwed up that one shot, it had been like a 1-inch spread. So I think I did pretty good. That's representative of how I would shoot. I mean, from a bench you better be that good. That one bothers me. It was probably me. All right, well, that's our benchmark, so to speak. Now let's go try it with the Glock 17. All right, we've hung a new target. It's time for the Glock 17 Gen 5. I just purchased this gun, so these will be the first shots after I've taken 10 practice shots here. I can already tell you I hate the sights on this thing. How awful. I mean, come on, Glock. You do everything else right, and you have crappy sights. It's one of the reasons I'm even doing this video. I'll tell you at the end. Look at me making excuses and I haven't even pulled the trigger. All right, quit talking. Let's shoot. right, 10 shots. Let's go see how we did. Wow, that was awful. Awful. Part of the reason, here we go with the excuses again, that stupid sight covered up the entire target. I mean, from 25 yards, that white dot covered up this whole freaking thing. And there's all sorts of gaps. So you see, you get this white dot here, and there's all sorts of this big giant gap in between here. So yeah, that's awful and entirely unacceptable. What are we at? 5.5 inches? Yeah, about 5.5 inches. Blech. Everything should be inside the 8 ring at least. I thought it would be there. All right, let's go to the table, look at these sights, our targets side by side, and make some comparisons. And then I'll tell you why I did this to begin with. I just couldn't end the shooting part that way. That was very aggravating. Let's do what a Glock is designed to do. That felt a lot better. Okay, before we dive into these targets, let's take a closer look at the guns. This is my Ruger Mk3 US Shooting Team Edition. I've done some things. I've put these beautiful squishy, sticky grips on them. This is a Valkortsen trigger, and I've got it set down to about 2 pounds. And then the Ultra Dot Match Dot 2 red dot. It's not any magnification, 0 magnification, and that's what we've done to this gun. It's a great little shooter. I love it. I think the USA Shooting Team Edition, I think when they sold these guns a few years ago, they donated part of the sale to the United States Shooting Team for the Rio Olympics, because it has a serial number that starts with RIO for the Rio Olympics. So there you go. That is a look at the Ruger Mk3. Did I say Mark II? I'm an idiot. Okay, here's a Glock 17. Not much to look at other than your standard Gen 5 Glock. It is bone stock. Just bought it, and look forward to upgrading it. That is the whole reason for this video, and I'll get into that in a second. I am going to do some significant upgrades to this, and hopefully participate in some of the US, what is it called, USPSA stuff. They've got that going on at my range now, and it looked like a lot of fun. But I'll have to do a hell of a lot better than that. So that's our benchmark. We're going to go compare these targets right now, but that is a Gen 5 Glock 17. And other than the 10 rounds that I shot out of it before I started this video, you saw the very first rounds shot out of this gun. Okay, kind of a windy day out here. Hopefully you can hear me okay, but these are the two targets side by side. The Ruger target measures about 2 inches from center hole to center hole. Now, if I hadn't had that one errant shot, it would have been about 1.25 inches, but you got to count them all. And then on the Glock, yuck, about 5.5 inches, and you could eliminate any couple of shots and still be about 5.5 inches. So yeah, uniformly horrible there. So that is a comparison of the targets. I don't know, did ammo play any part of this? On the Glock, the ammo was just your standard range ammo, 115 grain Federal, and of course I had some better ammo on the 22 side. For the Ruger was a Lapua Midas Plus. I like that stuff. Anyway, so I'm sure that had something to do with it. I'll take any excuse I can get. Okay, well, that was a first for me. While I was standing out there telling you about the upgrades I'm going to do to this Glock, the phone overheated. I do all my videos on a cell phone, and it overheated and turned off. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I plan to do to this Glock. First and foremost, we're going to do the sights. These sights are awful. Look at that. I don't know if you can tell from this video. Let's see if we can get a little closer. You get this giant blob of a white dot, And look how much room you could still go back and forth and have the white dot in the center of this giant U. And they look hokey and plasticky, and I hate them. Covered up the entire target to the 6 ring at 25 yards. How can you get any accuracy at that? So that's got to go. The trigger had to be a good 7 pounds. I mean, you watch a video, and I'm sure you were saying, when is he going to pull the damn trigger? I kept pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling, and then it finally went off. Okay, big difference from my Ruger Mk3, not 2. The Ruger has about a 2-pound trigger. So we're going to get a different trigger, get one that I can adjust for competition, etc. Competition barrel. We're going to do match grade barrel, upgraded guide rod, and something for the grips. These hard plastic grips kind of slip around a little bit, so I want to do that. So we're going to do all of those changes and then come back and do part 2 of this video, and hopefully this Glock 17 Gen 5 will be more competitive at that time. My goal is to shrink everything down inside this 8 ring here. Maybe inside the 9 ring, but no, I'd be happy if it's all inside the 8 ring at 25 yards. So go ahead and let me know what you think this gun will do after I make the adjustments that I just described. There will be no prize. I'm way too cheap for that, but let me know in the comments below how much of an improvement you think that will make. And I'm going to go order these parts right now, and as soon as I can get them in and installed, I'll make part 2 of this video. All right, y'all have a nice day. Go out and shoot a target. Beautiful out there.
That felt a lot better.